Patience is a virtue, and the Harkles ain't got it. This new plan of theirs to follow in the footsteps of Camilla is going to lead to them falling directly on their faces once again. Hello, and a very warm welcome to Kate Middleton and the Queen channel. At this point, it's no use even trying to deny the rumors. Meghan and Harry are trying to get back in with the royals. Now, the reason is also pretty clear. They're running out of cash. They got to make money somehow, and trashing the royals last time worked out so well for them, they want to try it again. But it sounds like the royal family have wisened up. They're simply not playing games with Meghan and Harry any longer. They are not going to let them get close again. Of course not. Since Meghan and Harry left the royal family back in 2020, the royals really have gone from strength to strength, in spite of the relentless attacks coming out of Montecito. So now the latest is that Meghan and Harry think that Camilla can provide them with a blueprint for the way forward. And as is the case with basically all of their plans, this one has some major flaws. So, first of all, Camilla had to work hard to actually be appreciated and respected by the people. It wasn't automatic for her. Meghan and Harry, on the other hand, have shown us time and time again they do not have the patience to actually put in the hard work to change their reputations. They think everything should just come easy to them. They believe they should be adored and respected just because of who they are. According to The Express, sources close to Meghan and Harry are suggesting that Meghan is wanting to secure a part-time reunion with the king in an attempt to ease the strain that she and Harry have faced since quitting their working royals position. Well, if this is true, Meghan is even more deranged than we thought she was. And what does she even mean by a part-time reunion? What, like some of the time she's going to be nice to King Charles's face, and then the other part of the time she's going to be trashing him behind his back for cash? Is that what her plan is? She and Harry certainly have faced a lot of strain since quitting their position, but last time I checked, that's all their own fault. The royal family hasn't done anything to make their lives more difficult. They, on the other hand, have tried their best since quitting in 2020 to make the royals' lives an absolute hell. It's been countless attacks, allegations, most of which are completely untrue. And the royals, throughout all of this BS, have maintained their dignified silence and they have remained classy. They have not fought back. But at the same time, they are smart people. They're not going to let the Harkles get close again because they know what would happen. Meghan is evil to the core. The only reason she wants a part-time reunion with the king is so that she can use the family to make more money for herself again. And how is she going to make money off them? Well, by trashing them once again. Royal expert Duncan Larcombe is saying that Queen Camilla showed the public can be won back over, and he's suggesting that Harry and Meghan could still make a comeback to the royal fold. But honestly, I don't agree with him on this. I don't know what he's thinking. How exactly could Harry and Meghan still return to the royal fold? The royals would have to agree to that, and I don't see that happening. Duncan Larcombe told New Magazine, I think the Sussexes are aware the Prince and Princess of Wales are still furious. There's always a way back, he said. Look at Camilla. She was the most hated person in Britain, and now she's the Queen. If that's possible, anything's possible. But as things stand at the moment, I'd say it's pretty unthinkable. Okay, Duncan Larcombe is the source of this information, and it doesn't even sound like he's convinced of this idea. Of course, Harry and Meghan cannot return to the royal fold. I mean, why would anybody believe they had a chance of doing so? William and Catherine are the Prince and Princess of Wales. Even if the king was willing to let bygones be bygones and forgive Harry and Meghan, which I kind of don't think he is, Prince William and Princess Catherine would never agree to a reconciliation with the two of them, especially after the things they've said about Catherine, and especially after Endgame came out. I mean, really, even Spare was bad enough to make that relationship impossible, and now since Endgame has come out, no chance. And yes, Queen Camilla at one time was the most hated woman in Britain. That is true. But it's important to understand why Queen Camilla was so hated. She was hated by everybody because they thought that Queen Camilla was the reason that Charles and Diana broke up. But eventually, people started to see the reality of that situation a little more clearly. The truth is, Charles and Diana were not in love. Diana actually cheated on Charles before he even cheated on her. Camilla was not the reason they broke up. Harry and Meghan said some really vile stuff about the royal family. That's why the public hates them. Camilla never did that. The only crime Camilla ever committed was loving Charles. And the love between them is absolutely real. We can see that now. Another thing is, Camilla had to work incredibly hard to get people to respect her. That's not something that Harry and Meghan are willing to do. Harry and Meghan are just way too reactionary. That's another one of their problems. Camilla put up with years of abuse in the media, and she never once tried to defend herself. She just took it. Instead, she focused on her good work, and she understood that with enough good work and loyalty to Charles and the rest of the family, the public would eventually come to accept her. And that's exactly what we have seen happen. But Meghan and Harry are not willing to do that. First of all, they can't stand it when a negative article about the two of them comes out in the media. They have to react. People don't like that. It's transparent what they're doing, and people don't appreciate the dishonesty and the games they want to play with the media. Another difference between Camilla and Meghan and Harry is that people never hated Camilla for who she is as a person. They hated her for the role they believe she played in the divorce between Charles and Diana. So eventually, when the dust settled on that whole mess, people started to see Camilla for who she really is, fun loving and loyal, and actually a pretty nice lady. But Meghan and Harry are the opposite. The more they show us who they are, the more we despise them. Meghan may try to tell herself that people only dislike her because she took Harry away from England. Well, no, that's not the reason people dislike Meghan. People dislike Meghan because of who she is and everything she has done. She's a narcissistic bully who's completely out of touch with reality and only believes in her own greatness. She also made up hateful lies about the royal family and sold those lies to the highest bidder for cash. These are the reasons people don't like Meghan. It has nothing to do with her taking Harry away from the family. Meghan has already shown us who she is as a person. We don't want to see any more. Another question I have about this piece is what is the point exactly? I mean, we know this stuff is coming from Meghan and Harry's team, but why are they even bothering with this story? Do they think this is going to change our minds about Meghan and Harry? What, they think that we all forgot about the fact that Camilla used to be Britain's most despised woman? No, we didn't forget. And it doesn't change our opinion on Meghan and Harry. I don't understand why it would. The only conclusion I can really come to is that Megan is spiraling completely out of control, and she's just throwing a bunch of stuff out there hoping that something will stick. Since the coronation, there has been radio silence from the royal family on Meghan and Harry. Clearly, they're not letting their BS get to them. And that is what is so frustrating to Meghan and Harry. They're like a couple of little children who act up for attention. But the royals are playing this game very wisely because they're not giving in to them. We've not heard a thing about the royals inviting Harry and Meghan to anything. They haven't remarked on anything that Harry and Meghan have done. The Harkles are so desperate for recognition from the royals, but the royals are not giving into it. Instead, they're just allowing them to continue to slip away into obscurity, which is exactly what Meghan and Harry deserve, but also the thing they fear more than anything else. Another problem with this idea of the Harkles following in Camilla's footsteps to rehabilitate their own image is that Camilla had a lot of help from the palace, and the palace PR machine is a lot better than whoever Meghan and Harry are using right now, probably themselves. I don't believe Meghan really listens to advice from PR people. That's her first problem. And that's why she gets it wrong every single time. She's following her own instincts. And when it comes to gaining public approval, Meghan's instincts are almost always off. Broadcaster Carol Malone was responsible for covering Charles and Camilla for years, ever since the 90s, and she said, "When I was reporting on the royals, Camilla was literally the most hated woman in Britain. She really was. She was the devil incarnate, never mind a national treasure. She was hated, she was seen as a homewrecker, and even when Diana died, she kind of got blamed for that. People were thinking that if it hadn't been for her, Diana wouldn't have been in that car. She wouldn't have been with Dodi Al Fayed." Malone went on to say she had to bear a lot of you know what before, but I think the palace's PR machine has been very clever with Camilla. Carol Malone went on to say her coming out, if you like, was in 1999 at the Ritz where the two of them were together at Camilla's sister's birthday party. This was a big thing and people would have forgotten it, but it was a big thing for them to be together. Over the years, the palace has just gone slowly, slowly, slowly. They didn't shove her down our throats. See, for the Harkles, overexposure is a very real problem, and a problem they have been facing for a long time now. But it seems like their lack of self awareness is proving to be a big obstacle in accepting this problem. Instead of putting out all these puff pieces trying to convince us that Meghan and Harry are so misunderstood, that they're really amazing people, they should just do something. They should do something to help somebody else. They should lay low and actually get involved in some kind of meaningful work. But they're not going to do that. And one reason I say they're not going to do that is because we're still getting these absurd articles coming from Meghan and Harry's team. There's one in the Express just today. The headline is Inside Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's Christmas Plans After Rumors of Royal Reunion. Now, the first sentence is written by Jonathan Cangoni, and the first sentence is It has been confirmed that Harry and Meghan are being invited to spend Christmas in Sandringham with the royal family. Confirmed by whom exactly? I went through this entire article trying to find some quote or something to make this seem legitimate, but there's nothing. They couldn't even put in a little bit of work to try to make this claim sound credible. They just throw it out there and expect us to believe it. The only quote they even bother putting in there is that Harry and Meghan's new strategy is reconciliation. That came from a source who spoke with Page Six. Well, we've heard that before, but just because Meghan and Harry's new strategy is reconciliation, that doesn't mean that reconciliation is possible. Last time I checked, two sides are required to cooperate with reconciliation, and as far as I can tell, the royal family is not interested. There is also another sentence in this article that has me reeling. Okay, here's the quote. Get ready for it. It's also being claimed that Harry and Meghan's New Year resolve is to make amends with their royal relatives, as they have decided to not be used by their enemies against the royal family. I had to read this sentence about 20 times, and then I had to get some help from my husband, too, to figure out what in the world is he trying to say. I mean, are they really admitting that Harry and Meghan have been used as pawns? That there's some other powerful entity who absolutely hates the royal family who have been using Meghan and Harry to attack them? Are they really admitting that right now? To be fair, this is a conspiracy theory that has been floating around for a very long time now. I mean, for years, probably ever since Megxit. That perhaps there is somebody working behind the scenes putting Harry and Meghan up to all this. That this person or people want to promote instability in the royal family and the monarchy, because that's going to suit their own agenda. Now, of course, we don't have any real evidence of this other than looking at Meghan and Harry's behavior. We have no idea who this person or people could even be. But this sentence just strikes me as absolutely bizarre. We've never heard any admission that anybody else was involved in this whole mess except Meghan and Harry. After all, the line they're trying to stick to is that they were just unhappy as members of the family and the family had wronged them and they're just getting their truth out there. But this sounds like something entirely different. I guess it could be that they're talking about Scooby Doo Doo, but at the same time, that also doesn't make a whole lot of sense because last time I checked, it's Scooby Doo Doo doing Meghan and Harry's bidding. It's not the other way around. And that relationship, Meghan and Harry certainly hold a lot more power than Scooby Doo Doo does. I mean, he's just a desperate wannabe. He wants to be so close to the royals, but the royals will have nothing to do with him, so he settles for the fake royals out in California. Honestly, though, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if someday we do discover that Meghan and Harry have been making some very shady deals with some very shady people. There are many people in this world who would see the fall of the monarchy as a very good thing because it would help them to line their pockets. Now, if one of these people or a group of people or whatever approached Meghan and Harry with a deal they couldn't refuse, I absolutely believe they would take it. Meghan will look for any excuse to trash the royals because she's so upset that she can't be number one. And as for Harry, I think it was easy to convince him that he also had a bone to pick with his family because he was born the spare. Meghan and Harry are absolutely the kind of people who would sell their souls to the devil if they thought it was going to benefit them in the short term. And you, what do you think of this news that Harry and Meghan just need to follow the example of Queen Camilla to rehabilitate their image? And do you think they're going to be showing up at Sandringham for Christmas? Please let me know your opinion below in the comments section. As always, if you like our video, don't hesitate to like and share it with anybody else who would appreciate it too. Another thing, I still need your help reporting the King channel. Hopefully this will all be over soon, but in the meantime, thank you so much for your support. If you didn't already, please click that subscribe button so that you don't miss a single update from Kate Middleton and the Queen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, and I'll be back to see you in the next videos.